Okay. Okay, so again, these are your groups. Memorize your group right now, because once we get started, we'll walk around and then we're gonna be presenting. So here's how it works today. Let me pop this on the board.
That's all.
All right.
What?
Your mom left pictures?
Okay, all right. So here's what we're looking at. Okay, we're doing sections 1, 1, 1, 2. We're still doing order of operations. My goal is to finish order of operations tomorrow, and then we'll be going into new stuff on Friday. So here's the idea. Group activity. You're going to be basically sharing your results from your group. So obviously there's pairs of 2s or 3s in this room. Now it's based on the handout that I give you. So that's this thing that I gave you yesterday. Now you're not doing every single problem, okay? So it's basically every 3. So here's how it works. I'll just give you an example of this, and I'll post this up on the board. So you're going to present in 5 minutes. So 5 minutes from now, the first group will start presenting their information for everybody. And then as that group presents, your goal is to write down the answer on your piece of paper. We're going to discuss if it's right or wrong, what we need to tweak, all that good stuff. So it's kind of a more interactive. It's more of you guys kind of showing what to do. Now, here's how it works. Each group will be given 3 problems. 3, that's it. So like group number 1, this is your example. Group number 1 will take, so if you're looking at this worksheet, the first 3 questions. It's the top 3. The next group number 2, will be taking the next 3 questions. So they'll have number 4, 5, and 6. Does that make sense what you're doing? Okay, now, here's how we're going to assign you. So, and I'll tell you what problems you have, okay? So, group number 1, that's that group over here. You guys have problem number 1. 2 is that corner over here. That's you 3. 4, 5, and then, let's see, 6, and then 7, you guys have the last 2, I think. It's only the last 1 or 2. Okay, so we have, I think, 6 groups in the room. I think there's 6. Maybe, oh, it's because you guys are all split up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. All right, so you guys throw me off with where you guys are sitting. Okay, so let's walk through the numbers. So on your guys' paper, so mark this out right now. Group number 1, you guys have 1 through 3. So like circle those right now. Group 2, that's you guys. You guys have 4, 5, and 6. Okay. You guys have 7, 8, and 9. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. There you go. Okay, yeah, I believe so. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, now, here's the idea. You need one of these? Sorry. Alright, now, here's the idea. You are going to be presenting here in about 5 minutes. I'll put the timer up on the board. Your goal is to go through there, try to make sure you've answered the question when it's asking for. So the first couple questions are just find the words from the word bank up above and write down the words that go in that space. The rest of the problems are basically write up like the mathematical formula that it's trying to tell you. You're not solving anything. We're not, simplifying or solving for X. You're just trying to write out what the math problem is. And then you're going to come up here and present like I would. Okay, what are the keywords? What does it look like? Is it written down correctly? Is there anything we need to flip-flop? Before your group presents, in about 5 minutes or so, I'll walk around the room and see if you're somewhat correct. If there's anything you need to tweak. That way you're not going up there making silly mistakes. Okay, does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, I'll give you 5 minutes. I'll put the timer on the board. I'm going to stop the camera so that way you can get time to work. Go ahead, you got 5 minutes. Okay, you can write right on the mark board right next to my PowerPoint. Okay. Okay, now for everyone else in the room, you need to be writing down these answers because you're going to turn in this piece of paper here in a minute and it needs to be completed. So you have less than a couple minutes here, guys. So do the best you can. All right, their goal as they're writing stuff down is to use the words at the bottom of the page. There you can see, or I guess on your paper it's the words at the top. And they were supposed to find those keywords that mean, in this case, addition for the first one. Good. So as you can tell, they're currently writing down some of the keywords and then they'll explain here in a minute. There's a lot of words they had. They had to pick from 12 13 different words there, and they had to figure out which word goes with which.
I'm good, yeah, readable.
Eric, you want to get rid of that word is right there? Yeah, here it is. We don't need that one. The word is for an equal sign. I believe that's probably about it. Okay, there you go. All right, so as you can see the words, gentlemen, say your first 3 words you had there.
More than increased by someone else.
Boom, means addition. Next ones. Yeah, there's 3. The word of itself means to multiply, product of multiplied good. And the last one? Boom, quotient. They didn't have any divider or anything like that, but quotient is the only keyword up there that means division. If you haven't already in this room, make sure that you are writing those down because you are treating this worksheet before you leave today. Second group, group 2, you guys erase all those words on the board. Alright, group 2. They had a very similar situation. Their first problem, they used the bottom of the page up for you guys at the top of the page, and they had to write keywords for the word subtraction. So, go ahead, write them up. One of you, as he's writing them up there, you can say them out loud if you wish. It'll save time. Their goal is to write all the keywords for subtraction. So, thank you, Reese, for writing that up there. And nice job in group 1. Nice job.
Can't read that handwriting.
Pretty good for him.
Alright. I think that's the last one, correct? Okay, alright, so what are those keywords for subtraction? What do you got up there?
Subtracted from difference decreased by less.
Boom. The keyword up there, the 2 that are probably the most tricky, not for like understanding wise, but when you write them down later, is subtracted from and the word less than. Some of the groups in here have those for those other problems. They're actually pretty tough. Keep going, gentlemen and ladies. So, what do we got? 37. So we got, okay, good. Sum of a number and 12. They knew the keyword there was addition. And product of, boom, there you go. Product means to multiply. That's exactly how you want it. Now, is there any different way we can write number 6? Other than using that little X symbol?
A dot.
Put a dot, or you can just put 18 and a Q right after it. So, that's good. All right, write those down. Next group, group 3. Thank you very much, group 2, nicely done. All right, group 3. They have the same situation the last group did. Their goal is to write down the formula for the keywords here. They had to write down the formula for the keywords. Yeah, write it really big. There you go. Yeah, sorry. Markers are dying. Good. And is there any other way to write that without the little X in between it?
Yes. Oh, yeah, a little dot.
Little dot. Or just put the 1/3 in front. 1/3 means a fraction, so it's 1/3 of n. So that means to multiply. Good. 2 less than a number. You want to explain why you wrote it like that?
Because it says less than, so you have to put the 2 behind.
Boom. That's the only, that's one of the 2 keywords for subtraction, that when you see a word less than, the number has to go to the back. It doesn't stay where it's at. It's probably the most commonly missed question. Okay, keep going. Nicely done so far. Good. Difference of means subtraction. It's probably one of those keywords a lot of people get mistakes on. It was definitely apparent from our exit tickets. A lot of people think difference of means division, it means subtraction. Very nice, gentlemen. Okay, so write the answers down. Remember, we're turning this in before you leave today. Okay, 10, 11, and 12. Same exact idea.
I love them, they're so far off.
Okay, there you go. So they had the quotient of a number and 3, and then they're increasing it by 15. So they added 15. Dark, you want to make sure that plus sign is a little more pronounced than that number 10? Yeah, just make that a little more pronounced. The red is fading a little bit. Perfect. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, 10 increased by the product of 2 and a number. Product means multiply. And the last one. 4 times a number decreased by 8 or 9?
9.
9, thank you.
What else? Yeah, I keep.
Boom, there you go. Very nicely done, all right. The top one is probably the most tricky. If they had a comma or a parenthesis in there, they'd have to put it, but very nicely done. A quotient of a number of 3, and then we're increasing it by 15.
Let's go around.
All right. Second to last group here, group number 5. They're doing the same situation, number 13, 14, they're writing down the formula. But 15, they have to write it in words, and they have to use keywords. So they had one kind of tricky one.
Stop.
All right, very nicely done. G to the 4th power. And then they're gonna minus 14, very nicely done. They're doing twice a number, and then they're subtracting, which that blue is kind of fading out, subtracting 7. Now, why do you guys write it like that? What was the keyword?
Less than.
Yeah, the word less than, they had to move the 7 to the back. Less than means you have to switch the order. It's one of those keywords. Very nicely done. And last one, you have to write out the word sentence for it. You want to get rid of that extra A and 18 there?
It's fine.
Alright. Alright. Better wage.
Makes sense.
Good, alright. So they wrote 18 times that.
Wait,
Don't erase it yet. People are still writing. Alright. 18 times F. They have an extra A in there they didn't need.
Not yet.
Not yet. Let people write it down. Group 6, try to stay out of the way so people can write it. I know you guys are anxious to get up there.
There's only.
Very nicely done, group 5, very nicely done. Thank you for writing.
You're writing it, Alexis.
What?
There's
Alright, are we good, people?
No.
My handwriting is a lot better.
Okay, hurry up.
Yeah, small.
Don't erase one, Alexis, don't.
I have it right here.
Alright, moving on. Alright, last group. Here we go. After this, you're gonna put your name on the paper and you're gonna turn it in. Group 6. Their instructions were the same thing. They had to write the verbal sentence for each expression. The verbal phrase.
9.
9. Oh, this is great.
Can you write a straight line?
Good. Alright, they use the word times. And good. To the second power, I like it. Also, a keyword for the second power, you can say squared. So like 9 times a squared. Keep going, you're very nicely done. So far, so good. Good, they're using a keyword there, difference of, and then they just have to write down what parts they're doing the difference of, and you put the word and between it. N and 4. Very nicely done. And the last one. This is probably the most tricky one for them. Very nice done. 3 times V. They could have used the product of 3 and V, but they use that. Subtracted by 5. Very nice. Very nice. Notice, they used the word subtracted by. If they would have said subtracted from, it would have been technically wrong. Very nice, you can leave it up there. Leave it up, you're done. You can leave it up there. Leave it up there for the rest. Okay, all right. If they would have had subtracted from that, they're written correctly. If they would have subtracted from, that would have been a lot like the word less than. Things would have switched, but the way they wrote it with the word subtracted by is actually correct. So that's very nice to know. So, question?
Couldn't you change it to 5 less than?
Yes.
3 times
Yep.
B?
5 less than the product of 3 and B or something like that, or 3 times B. Notice, this is probably the most common mistake people forget, and the last group did it correctly too. You gotta put the word times between a number and a letter. If you use the word product, you don't need to do that, product of n and 3 or whatever it is. But if you just say 3v, you have to put the word times between it, 3 times v, so you know what that symbol is. Okay, I want your name on this, you're gonna turn it into me, okay? Because you're gonna get points for it, very nice. I appreciate all the groups that went up there. It takes a lot of nerves to get up and courage to get up in front of everybody. Appreciate it. I'm gonna take those, you get easy points for today. That was technically supposed to be our homework. I thought it'd be kind of fun to do it this way instead.
Yeah.
So, all right. Okay, I'm gonna take them from you, but make sure your name is at the top.
Will you stop?
Nah.
So now what?
We're done for today. You have about 3 or 4 minutes.
You wanna say
We're done.
4 minutes?
3 or 4 minutes. Thank you for all your help.
Same.
The same thing that I've been doing.
You can use your paper.
Mason.
All right.
How long
Very
is the
nicely
bus ride
done. Very
tomorrow?
nicely done.
We should catch sometime.
How long is the bus ride
Shut
tomorrow?
up.
An hour.
Hour and a half.
Okay, Angel,
I'm reading the beats and talking.
Hey, see, I know.
there you go, sir. Wish you the best of luck.
I'm getting some.
Algebra.
Reader, stop putting your foot in my
This one.
Oh, it's egg.
Dude, it's just like the Osage. Andrew, it's just like the bus ride to Osage. No, it's not. Longer than that.
We'll see just like before you
No,
left this.
not that one.
St.
I
Andrews
just
is
don't
about
know
an
it.
hour.
Yeah, but oh, they.
Literally.
First job.
It's like Austin brick.
St. Ansgar's.
That's not what I'm gonna get.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you say it's like the Austin
I
brick?
don't have that much money though. Oh,
Hey, if you brought a calculator or a pencil for me, make sure I get them back.
I need that.
Why are you looking your lips so much?
Oh, you homeless guy.
Time of the year again or not? You guys have shut up, buddy.
You're home.
I'm hungry. So are you.